Hey all, we're here with Greg from the mighty Allegaeon. Greg, thank you.
Hi.
Greatly appreciate you taking time to
My pleasure.
hang out and chat with me.
And he got me food.
Food.
So,
Everyone needs food. Remember,
yes.
eat your fucking Wheaties. So, a lot of good stuff happening for Allegaeon.
Yep.
I love seeing it as a longtime fan. Makes me happy. So, first, the most notable thing to me is Ezra is back.
Ezra is back. Yes.
What's that like?
Just feels like old times, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's like having your best friend back,
Awesome.
you know?
I know he looks really happy. Sounds really good on
Yeah.
the new single.
Yeah.
Super excited to see him tonight perform.
Yeah, he sounds better now than he did 7 years ago or 8 years ago. I don't know. Whenever he left,
Whenever he left.
he's on the top of his game.
Now you got me thinking. Louisville Death Fest is what, 2016?
Had to be 2015.
Okay.
So
2015. So
Yeah.
that's when
yeah, because he wasn't on that.
9
That's
years.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
That was his first sit out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the first time I saw Riley. And
That's
it
right.
wasn't long after that you guys announced that Riley was joining you guys.
Yeah, so it was, Riley did that little tour, and then Ezra came back to do the last show, and then,
Oh, right on.
Yep,
And you guys are
then
rocking.
it's history.
History. You guys have had, I think, a lot of really good runs. Is there a band that you've toured with thus far that has just been like, man, it was really fucking awesome. I never thought we'd play with them.
I mean, this run is incredible, you know. I've been a huge Septicflesh fan for years, so I never thought that would happen. That's great. And of course, Decapitated, who ever thought they'd be back in the States.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, everybody in the store is like, Kataklysm's been around for 30 years.
Yeah.
Right? So they're death metal legends, you know. We're just like, you know, we're knocking on 20, so we're not. I'm definitely no spring chicken, and my body's definitely feeling it, but, you know, that's not 30 years. That's a few less, you know.
Yeah, not many, but 20. That's a
big
long
milestone.
time.
Yeah, it's
That
coming.
is. Congratulations to you guys
Thank
on
you.
that.
I was too dumb to quit.
That's a good way to look at it. You guys have had a lot of success though, like as far as just bands overall, right? There's a lot of bands out there that don't make it to even the level you guys have made it.
That's a really nice way to look at it. When you're internal, you're just like, everything is just one giant, you know.
Clusterfuck.
Yeah, it's one giant clusterfuck, and you love playing, so you just like, that's whatever. This is life. You just deal with it. You just deal with it. It's just your life. You just put out the fires as they come, you know.
That's it.
So yes, we have had many successes.
You have though, right? Like obviously, I feel like with each album, your fan base grows bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want. You know, some albums do better than others, obviously, right? And then, but it's been interesting to us, like albums that we thought we totally missed the mark on have become like cult followings for us, which has been really cool to see, because it's like I really enjoyed the album, but obviously numbers don't lie. So, but then people will come up and like, oh, it's my favorite album, which is always weird, you know? So, but great. So.
You guys, you know, but you guys have always had, for me, an interesting sound, because I think you guys were my introduction more into the technical side of death metal.
Right.
Which I'm always open to
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
But you guys are super tight and super skilled as musicians. And to have, you know, early on, it was, I mean, it's all very science-based,
Yeah.
right?
For the most part, yeah.
Which is,
I mean, it's just always been an interest until Damnum, which was all, Damnum was our like COVID, you know, album, which seemed a little, you know, we need to read the room a little bit. There's a lot going on. Maybe we should just, you know, maybe touch the brakes a little bit. So, but now it's time for it to return.
To return.
That's right.
Awesome. So let's talk about the new album. You guys just got done recording it, right?
Yep.
Like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
It's all turned in. Well, I don't even remember. It's been a while. It's supposed to come out this year. That's all I can say.
Okay.
We're just waiting on artwork from Mr. Seth from Septicflesh. So obviously he's a little busy right now. So
got a little bit going on.
When the tour's over, we can get that done. But he is definitely the right guy for the job. We're very excited.
So you guys are all mixed and mastered?
Yeah, we're all done.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we're just like doing like liner notes on the road, which is hard. And then we did have to mix like a song that we recorded that will be like save a song for the off years.
Yeah.
So you're always giving something to the fans, so they don't have to wait 2-3 years for more music.
Yeah. What was it? Damnum. When did Damnum come out?
22.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, we always have an album ready every 2 years. And the only time that has changed is when tours didn't line up, or they're like, we just got to hold the album. But it was like, so Apoptosis came out in 2019, but it was ready for release in 2018.
Gotcha.
And then, that kind of just put us in that was the only 3-year gap we've had, but that was because things on the back end didn't line up. So the album was done. We're a 2-year cycle band, and proud of it.
And you guys tour, I think, pretty heavily in those 2 years, also.
Yeah.
Aside from COVID.
Yeah.
Right?
COVID. Mercifully put the brakes on. We needed a break. We were going to head out. We had a headliner booked with like Fallujah and Entheos supporting, which would have been great for us. But not mentally. We were
exhausted.
When it got canceled, I think I was just like, oh, good. I was like so done. I didn't want to go live in a van again.
Yeah.
So
that would have been a really cool fucking tour.
It would have been an amazing tour.
Can we get that back?
Well, all those bands are in different places now.
That's fair, but
some people are YouTube or TikTok famous. I don't even know my social media platforms. So yeah. So both those bands are doing way better than they were.
So what? Let's still get all 3 of you on the road.
I mean, everybody's on the road.
Together, I mean.
It's funny. And Mike is actually filling in for Entheos in a couple months. So
yeah.
Get to see the Allegaeon Entheos mixture.
The collab.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's make sure that we put the bug in Mike's ear. Hey, come on. Let's make this tour
just
happen.
come on. We toured with Entheos a couple times. And Fallujah a couple times, but it was the first time it would be one coherent package.
Bill. Yeah. So first time I saw Fallujah was there was a festival in Michigan called Blood Fest. Black Dahlia was headlining. Battlecross, I think, was right before him.
Oh, nice.
And it was
Battlecross in Michigan?
No. Dun dun dun. But so what was it? It was called Blood Fest.
Okay.
And they had like 5 stages in this community center.
Oh, nice.
And it was it hammered. And I talked to Andrew when he was still in Fallujah. And then I went and watched their set, and I was like, "Holy shit! I've never heard anything like this before."
Cool.
Because, I'm old, so it's always been.
They're a very unique band.
They are.
Yeah, they're great.
But for me, it was always like old thrash, Exodus, Testament,
right.
Metallica, right? Yeah. And then, of course, I go a little deeper, but they were, man, a fucking great live band.
Yeah. To this day.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Super excited to see you guys play tonight.
Yeah, it's been a good tour, and we're playing well.
We're playing well.
We're playing well.
Walk me through the set list.
So we have 30 minutes. Our songs tend to be a little longer, so I'm so proud. We managed to get 6 songs in.
Yes.
A lot of shut up and just play. But yeah, I mean, there's, 2, there is like 2 songs from the Riley era, and then the rest are kind of older.
Okay.
Well, I guess with the exception of, the new single we just dropped.
Are you guys playing the new
Yeah.
single tonight?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then the other single we dropped before the new one with Ezra on it, we'll do that on a headliner. So
Cool.
maybe, I don't know.
So a good mix.
Yeah,
through
it's
the ages.
career spanning. You know, we don't play anything from Form Shifter or Apoptosis.
Okay.
Those are the only two that we just didn't have time to touch
Sure.
on. So
I mean, you guys have got a lot of really good songs, so it's
6 albums. So
it's hard.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Set lists are really hard now. So
Yeah.
and soon it'll be album 7, and then just start throwing darts.
Yeah.
But then there's always the songs that if you don't play,
People get pissed.
your fans just absolutely riot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully we see a riot tonight.
No riots.
No riots.
No riots.
No. So what can we expect from the new album?
It's my favorite album we've done since Proponent. And it's going to sound like there's some stuff that's straight off of Damnum. There's some stuff that sounds like Proponent. There's some stuff that sounds like stuff off of Form Shifter. It's the most Allegiant
Eclectic.
sounding
Okay.
record that is very career spanning almost. And I think maybe that's why we're so excited about it, because it sounds like everything we've ever done, like in one kind of like place.
That's
you know,
cool.
people's questions will be answered. We get that clean singing question quite a bit.
Okay.
There will be clean vocals from Ezra, from Michael. You know, so there we
All
go.
right.
People won't have to question anymore.
So now you know. You're hearing it here first.
Yes.
That's great. You know, obviously I feel like every album has had its own, very specific sound.
Yeah.
You know, so to hear that the new album has a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything, and I don't know. It feels really good because it kind of feels like we have the stride now, maybe a little bit,
Yeah.
right? Where it's always been, I don't know. I say that, and then I'm gonna find some obscure freaking thing, and like, I'm gonna add this in. So for the
Whatever.
next album, we're already writing for the next album, and then I got a whole bunch of stuff for prepared classical guitar to make it sound like a Gamelian orchestra, because I'm a nerd.
Dude, I'm telling you, I love nerds.
Okay.
Nerds are great.
Musical nerd, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that really sets you guys apart from a lot of bands, right? Because a lot of bands, what do? They come out, they have their sound, right? And it's pretty straightforward. And you guys have your sound. And
It's kind of morphed a lot
yeah,
over the years.
and you guys add a lot of stuff in,
Yeah.
which is it's super nice.
Yeah.
Right?
So I mean, it's you can like it can be taken in a couple ways. A lot of people just like that one sound, and that's what they want to hear.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then that's why like a lot of people are just gonna be like, my favorite album was the first one or the second one.
Sure.
Right. And then if there was money in metal, thered be no lineup changes, but
There's money. It's just not a lot.
there's just not a lot of it.
Yeah.
Not enough to like make people go, okay, it's worth it. It's worth living in a van. So I mean, with new people comes new influences, which means your sound changes,
Yeah.
and grows a little bit. So the balance of that, and just us being really always writing with the heart instead of the head.
Mhm.
So it's like, it was a dream of mine to do a Bach concerto. I did that. Was that probably a smart move for a death metal band? I don't know. Was it smart to do Yes and Rush? Well, I enjoyed it. Was it smart? I don't know.
I think it was.
See, I'm not sure about that.
I think it was because I feel like it brought you guys
It did.
a bunch more fans.
It did bring us a bunch more fans, but
They wanted more of that.
it started to be like, oh, when's the next cover? I'm like, we're not a cover band.
Right.
We just have fun,
Yeah.
But I wanted to be that band that it's like they can do anything, right?
Yeah.
Those musicians are musicians, and they can do anything. They can do Bach, they can do Yes, they can do Rush, they can do death metal. You know, I guess that was the mission statement. We just want to be really good musicians.
And
Yeah.
you guys are tremendous musicians.
Yay!
And you're a guitar teacher
Yeah.
also,
Yeah.
which is that. How much time does that take of yours when you're not on the road?
All like primarily all of it.
Yeah.
Which is great because I love teaching. I mean, and then it puts me in a position as I'm a professional musician. I'm playing guitar all day, every day, so it's weird. Like we were having like this, I kind of had a little panic attack because we were kind of doing this like mini documentary about the new album or whatever. And they're like, we want to get like personal. What's your personal life like? I'm like, I don't have a life. I'm so bored. All I do is play guitar. And I start freaking. My wife's like, that's your reality. It's fine. Stop it. I'm a neurotic mess too.
I think every musician's got their
we're all on the spectrum.
That's fair.
Yeah. Dave Otero, that was one thing he said. It's like you can't really be a musician without a little bit with spectrumism.
That's fair.
Because you hyperfixate.
Spectrumism.
Yeah, hyperfixate on your craft a little bit. So.
Well, you have to, right? Like
Yeah.
it's it becomes like a lust, right? Much more than a passion. Like
Yes.
You absolutely need it.
Yeah.
But I think at that point, that's what separates like the professionals from the part-timers.
Right.
And,
right.
No offense to part-timers.
No,
like,
everybody should have the opportunity. That's something that I've really appreciated as getting older and seeing like maybe local bands or bands like, I don't know, like there's like that Rigs of Dad, things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's awesome. That's awesome. Everybody should be allowed to play without like shitty little comments.
Yeah.
It's music, man. It's for everybody to enjoy.
It's for everyone to enjoy. And you can
And
listen
it's fun.
to any kind of fucking music you want.
That's right.
No one really cares. And if they do, fuck them. Who are some of your like current favorite bands that you're listening to?
There's this Swedish like kind of like 80s band called Nestor that I just been dyed in the wool. They just put out 2 singles. So they were just like brand new music from them. So that's what I've been listening to. And they're kind of like a Whitesnake.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like hotshot musicians, like amazing guitar player, amazing vocalist. And they're like, I think they formed in like 81.
Oh.
Right? But they just went out, and boy, have they aged well. I did not know they were formed in 81. I think like their singer just turned 50, and I was like, oh my God, I need to stop eating Wendy's.
Oh. Yeah.
But we're Americans. It's fine.
Yeah. You're not anymore. You're Canadian.
I am still American. My passport is from the U.S. and it just is a little weird when I come back in the country and like, well, where are you staying? I'm like, it's America. I can stay where the hell I want.
Sleep on the streets.
I don't know. American passport. That still weirds me out. But yeah, so Nestor. Yeah, I was just like, that's because, I'm in my mid-40s. I grew up with that music. So
yeah,
for me to have a new band playing that and not only playing it, but like crushing it
really well
with new music is really nice,
Yeah.
So it's like I love Steel Panther too because it's the same,
same aesthetic,
same thing. It was actually really interesting because when we did a tour with Chris Broderick and Act of Defiance that we talked about earlier. I think I warmed up one day, or like I did sound check with Skid Row.
Okay.
And he made a disparaging remark, some poser comment, which was like such a on-brand thrash of that generation, comment. And then he just did like the riffs that taught me, Chris. You played Rat, and it stuck with me. I'm calling you out right now, because Rat rules. But yeah, but that it's kind of weird because like. We had, when I was growing up, we had like, all we had was grunge.
Yeah.
Right? And I wanted to hear hotshot guitar playing, which was not what that John was about.
At all.
At all.
Right.
And so, as a teenager, I had less than kind words to say about the genre. As an adult, it's great. I grew up. And I understand what it is, and I appreciate for what it is. But at the time, all I could do was kind of look backwards.
Yeah.
Right? Because the big four, we're in there like, panic mode. We don't know what we're doing. Let's put out the risks and the Diabolus and Musica. That's not what their fans wanted to hear. But
well, and I think like that itself, right? Like with being in a band, right? You guys should always play the music you want to put out.
Yeah.
It's not always what the fans want to hear.
Yeah. It's kind of a hard lesson too.
Yeah.
But you notice every time then they realize that they skyrocket again.
Yeah.
But maybe they need that. They need that little reset.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think a lot of bands do, because you don't want to get into the same rut and follow those same tracks.
Yeah.
Then it becomes stagnant, stale, whatever.
Yeah. It's the bands that kind of like do that exploratory stuff that are really good at that as well.
Yeah.
That I admire. Like Risk is a great album. Not a great Megadeth album by any means, but it's still a really good album.
Yes.
So like it was just like, it's not what I wanted, but I'll take it, I guess.
I guess.
And then Diabolus was still heavy. It was just a little bit more nu metal than Slayer fans wanted,
Sure.
And then but like Anthrax, their whole thing with John Bush, I actually prefer that.
Yeah.
That middle catalog, just but then when they reverted, took off again.
Absolutely.
Worship music just kicked them off.
Yeah.
So
speaking of John Bush, real quick, have you heard any of the Category 7 stuff?
I watch like a hawk.
Yeah.
Sir. Yeah. Very, very excited. The world just needs more John Bush bands.
Dude, he is such a phenomenal vocalist. I'll say Marco Seguida also.
Yes.
I love Marco Seguida, and I'm interested to hear the Kerry King stuff.
Yeah.
Not because of Kerry King, although I like Kerry King.
Yeah.
But like Mark sounds really fucking
Great.
good on what I've heard from that.
Yeah. I haven't heard the album, but I've heard a lot of people I trust that have heard the album, and they say it's really good.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
A lot of good.
I mean, he's surrounded himself with a lot of talented people.
Oh
so
yeah. But both of those bands I think are filled with phenomenal musicians.
And one crossover.
Yeah.
Phil gets around.
Dude, like everywhere.
What a slut.
Like what does Phil not play in at this point?
I don't know. Yeah, he was in Overkill for a while.
Yeah.
Right?
Just left Violence to be in Kerry King.
Yeah.
He's in Machine Head. I know he's in a bunch of other stuff.
I mean, he filled in for Slayer, filled in for Overkill. He's the man on call.
He is.
Good for him, man.
Phenomenal guitar player.
Made a really good career for himself.
Yeah.
We all aspire to be Phil Demmel.
You hear that, Phil? Yeah. No, that's awesome. Greg, I think we're running close on time, dude. Cool. I appreciate you.
It went fast. You have a good time and it goes fast. It's because we got food.
That's what did it.
Yeah.
We didn't need you like.
Oh no, I was getting low blood sugar. I'm like, we need to eat before we do this.
You guys go check out Allegiant's new album, and when they come to a town near you, go fucking see them because they are phenomenal and they're super, super nice dudes. They'll take a minute and talk to you like this. So just go see them. Thanks, brother.
Thank you.